as Tepahene endorses Bawumia. You know what has happened to this bit about traditional chiefs not participating in politics, right? There's an endorsement, an equation to, I don't know. I mean, it's all over, and I'm just some education here as well. So that's the lead page of the Daily Guide. Mavi, I don't know what you have there.
I've got the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Front page says NDC accuses NPP of plan to rig December 7 polls. That story is on page 10. Really strong there, if you like. This, especially coming at this time, this is crucial. It ought to be investigated, followed up. The National Democratic Congress, the NDC, is alleging that the New Patriotic Party wants to use one Brigadier General Michael Opoku, the General Officer commanding of the Central Command of the Ghana Armed Forces, to rig the election for the ruling party by stuffing ballot boxes in the Ashanti region on December 7. And they go on to say that per a credible intel, Brigadier General Opoku's residence in Kumasi is currently the storage facility for weapons, illegally printed ballot papers, military apparels, and other election materials, which the NPP intends to use to execute this dastardly and subversive agenda. That's according to the NDC at a press conference that was addressed by the communications director, Sami Jemfi. And we need to do a serious follow-up on this, because these are serious allegations, and that must be investigated. All right, so there are other stories in the paper. 16 die from cholera in Greater Accra region, Eastern and Central regions. President inaugurates power projects, Flower Port interchange, inspects progress of work at cylinder manufacturing company in Accra. And the big one, before I come to another story of interest related to elections on security, GCNet's 4 billion Ghana cedis case against Ghana dismissed. Defendants awarded 2.2 million Ghana cedis cost, and the defendant in this matter is the Republic of Ghana, of course represented by the Attorney General. I think the good thing is what is refreshing really about this decision, I haven't read the entire ruling though, but just a summary of it, is the fact that we've been awarded this money, as part of legal representation.
The 2.2 million.
The 2.2 million.
Yeah.
Because this was like a 2000. The year 2000. This contract was about 2000, right? We signed this contract and we had this agreement with GCNet, which was subsequently extended many times actually, and then it was abrogated by this current government, and they offered to pay off, after terminating, but they refused, of course, and then decided to take the case on.
There was a clause in the agreement about how much GCNet should be paid if the contract is cancelled. That agreement was for some 5 million,
not more than 6 million.
Yes, yes, and so when the new government came along and abrogated the contract, they sought to carry out the terms of that clause and pay that amount. GCNet refused and sued the government of Ghana for 4 billion Ghana cedis
for unlawful termination of contract.
Exactly. They lost that case in arbitration, and all that they are going to get is the original stipulated no more than 6 million. It's 5 point something million. That is all they are going to get.
5.4.
Exactly. And in fact, Ghana has been awarded 2.2 million in legal fees.
Yeah.
So GCNet has to pay Ghana 2.2 million, which means when you set off that amount, all Ghana will have to pay is about 3 million to GCNet, instead of the 5 million that the contract, termination clause would have stipulated. So this is a victory for Ghana. I've noticed some, portals have written it the other way around, that Ghana to pay 5 million to GCNet, which is a bit of a
it's angling, isn't it?
Yes.
Because that's what they're entitled to, isn't it?
Yes, that's what they were supposed to have got, but instead they asked for 4 billion Ghana cedis, which, I mean, what would that have done to our economy if we had lost and we had to pay them 4 billion? So credit where
That's
credit is due.
some savings for the country.
Yes.
But for me, how do we avoid some of these things? This whole thing about these judgment debts and what goes. So how we can avoid these things that we don't even get here.
So in
say
this,
that I am right, he is wrong. I did a prudent thing to save the country money. The whole idea about abrogating some of these contracts, because we are all supposed to make sure that these contracts go through the drill, the necessary approvals, and all those things.
okay, so that's the
GCNet
thing.
contract in particular, just to check this in.
Yeah.
Raised so many questions. I mean, there was no. I mean, first of all, there was some very funny avoidance of PPA.
Okay.
Then the contract was extended when it still had about a year to go, or is it 5 years to go?
Yeah.
It still had a good duration on it.
It was
But
to end
just
in 2023.
Good, but just no. That's what it was extended.
Extended to exactly
But
after
it was supposed to
several
end-
extensions.
Exactly, it was supposed to end, and I don't remember the exact thing. So let me use a scenario. So in December 2016, just before John Mahama left office, the contract, which was supposed to end in say 2018, was extended to end in 2023, and this was done in December, just before the government left office. So ask yourself, what is going on there? So new government came along, they looked at the contract and they thought, no, this is not right, we're going to cancel it.
Okay.
Right? And they decided to abrogate it according to the stipulated
for-
agreement. These people say, no, we want 4 billion from you. Want to collapse our economy.
Okay.
So you see, we have to ask ourselves, who are the people we are getting into bed with? Who are the people we are signing contracts with? For what?
Yeah.
And why are we agreeing to such ridiculous terms so that when it's time to cancel, then we are in trouble? We are losing property abroad. What's the name of the other deal? Trafigura.
Yeah.
We are losing property abroad just because people have walked into ridiculous terms of agreement, as if we don't have lawyers.
You do.
Anyway,
But
let's
I think
move
that
on.
going forward, we need to strictly look at, some of the terms of these agreements, of course, so that we don't
How
come
we
to,
enter into
we
some
don't
of
even
these
come to
agreements.
these.
I believe the laws
yeah.
are there when it comes
Because
to all these things.
yeah,
So somebody just failing to
just follow the proper
due process.
statutory approvals and get the deal right. Otherwise, we can avoid, a lot of these things. Let me come to this election-related security story that I said we were going to do. Is the IGP who says no cause for alarm. Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare has warned anyone planning to cause trouble during or after the December elections, urging them to desist or face severe consequences. And then he says that, listen, even if troublemakers manage to outsmart the police, they will find them. I want us to take a listen to him.
We will engage where we want to engage. We will de-escalate where we want to de-escalate. But when we have to be ruthless in the enforcement of the law, within the context of rule of law, we will stop at nothing. For how far can you run? For how long can you hide? Because we will not forget you. Because when we forget you, we give you the opportunity to come back and do the things that you do again. So as long as we have booked you in our records that you are somebody we are looking for, we will pursue you until we find you.
Now, Dr. Ekufu-Dampare has also been providing details on personnel the service will deploy to the election centers.
Using the same blueprint, the work we've done so far has led to the production of 5,400-page security deployment plan, covering every aspect of security for the election. We, the security agencies, we are ready, well prepared. We do whatever it takes to protect the peace, security of this country.
Morning Show.
Yeah. Okay. So, Inspector General suggesting some readiness there for the task ahead, and a general warning to anyone who misbehave. I mean, I've got to say, there's no room, no space for that kind of citizen in this election. Like, we need to understand that our collective peace is far more valuable than any favorable outcome of this election. I am very happy for someone I despise to win the presidency, rather than for chaos to reign and people to be hurt, for even one person to be hurt because of these elections. I am very. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would be
Every life
much
is-
happier if someone I can't stand becomes president than to hear that people got hurt or worse, killed in a bid to get someone I like to become president.
It's a good thing to give the assurance, right? But we know that in the last elections there were people even died.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
how you follow through with your investigations and then go ahead to prosecute.
Yeah.
You know, I think that sends a a stronger signal, if you like, than just assuring us and saying good things. But you know, this paper today also carried a story which has serious security implications, which is the NDC's accusation about one, Brigadier General
Yeah.
planning to rig the elections. This is an allegation that they've made. I think the IGP can begin from there because this is also very fresh. The accusation that he's hoarding weapons and things like that. Very serious allegation that we can begin from.
Let me just say that we need to demand more from politicians. If you are going to make an accusation, be accurate, be clear with it. Don't just come and say he's going to rig. How is he going to rig it? How is he going to do it? Please don't just throw out accusations.